One day, I woke up. The day 57 of Ukrainians did not. They had been murdered after Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. My sister's trembling voice through the phone shook the house as much as the explosions there were around her. My sister told me a war had erupted. I didn't believe her, and with her nervous state now infecting me, I frantically typed into Google, searching for some sort of news. Something that would tell me that it's not true. Trying to convince myself none of this was real. Not a single word in the news. I was seeing all the terror about the war that even Google didn't have time to register. Fear plagued the air. An hour passed, until my father, with an expressionless face that said so much, confirmed the war had begun. My life changed from this point on. I knew it would never be the same again. 2 years ago, at this very time, bombs flew instead of birds, crashed around my house, shaking the floor and walls, sending my family and me to seek shelter in a cold basement. On the eve of March 7th, 2 years ago, Russian troops marched into my hometown. To my misfortune, my body was taken over by a serious illness. The hospital was riddled with bombs. The pharmacies were boarded up and closed. There was very little left in shops. There were no electricity, no water, no heat, no services of any kind. They destroyed everything. Every day, going to bed in our jackets to seek warmth in complete darkness, we hoped for a silent night. Every time I closed my eyes, I would hope to wake up from this horrifying dream. But it never wasn't a nightmare. It was our reality. For all Ukrainians, the war has become a personal nightmare that we would like to forget and never see again. But the reality is that every Ukrainian now experiences it every day. Over the past 2 years, Russia has fired over 8,000 missiles at Ukraine. More than 30,000 air raid sirens have sounded. More than 160,000 houses have been destroyed or damaged. And the lives of 40 million people have been impacted as a result of the hostilities. The complicated history of Russian aggression against Ukrainians goes back centuries. But modern Russia's war against Ukraine started a decade ago, when Russian troops illegally entered Crimea and soon after occupied the peninsula, violating the internationally recognized Ukrainian border, dozens of international laws and treaties. The same spring, Russia invaded the east of Ukraine, and for the next 8 years, the front line had stretched across Donetsk and Lugansk regions. The Russian occupation of 7% of Ukrainian territory continued behind the facade of peaceful talks and ceasefire until 2022, an open invasion of a much larger scale was launched by Russia. I was 7 when this war started. My entire childhood unfolded through the hardest times for my country. And through those years, I have learned things that no child should learn. Now, I know the difference in sounds of missiles and burst fire, drones, weapons. I know what an explosion feels like and how the heart continues to beat even after a second of silence. I know what a tank looks like from an angle that no one would ever want to see through their own eyes. I know how it's possible to live for more than a week without electricity, heat, or service in a basement. I know how to pack all my life in one bag in 10 minutes. I know how to keep hope in my heart, even when my hometown is being bombed, now for more than 2 years. And no matter what, I know, one day everything will be fine. And I believe that one day I will see my home again. And even though I know it won't be the same house anymore, through the darkness and broken walls, I will look for the light and the childhood memories I left there. I learned how freedom is essential, and moreover, how important it is to fight for it. And I also learned how to overcome any challenges, how to adapt to new communities, how to fight for my dreams, and to keep going no matter what. Every Ukrainian now knows how. We are fighting every day for our freedom, for our past, present, and future, for our dreams, for our lives. We all try to stand up for ourselves. It means different things to different people. For some, it's holding the front line. It's making kilometer-long camouflage nets, tirelessly evacuating the wounded civilians and soldiers, donating every bit of money to the military. For others, it's teaching children, baking bread, taking care of abandoned animals, telling jokes. We continue to create and develop, love and joy, sing and dance, smile and laugh, work and rest, learn and grow. We continue to live our lives because this is our way of showing resilience. So now I'm living my life as best as I can and believe that one day I will wake up at my home once again. There will be victory in the air, tears in the eyes, and wounds in the heart, but I will be at home in my free Ukraine. Thank you.